I thought they were going to take this, but with the map veto, now I'm not so convinced. I'm with Sean. I think this is going to go Fnatic's way. Inferno, great start for them. They get to kick things off on the aggressive side. And they're going to go banana. High-octane action from the start. Fallen, that's a very nice beginning for him as he falls back to another angle. And JW is going to hesitate here. They want to push this too quickly, letting the grenades do the work before finally starting to try to make their way forward. But Fur is lurking by the coffins. He needs to get more than just some damage. Needs some frags before the bomb goes down. But there's the reinforcements for SK.
For holding the construction position for the time being that Fnatic is looking to fight. Grenades won't do much on this occasion, but the guns will. Phelps taken down eventually, but there's a man advantage for SK. They are very good at these retakes. coldzera still creeping up banana for the time being. I don't know if there's a hit on the players who are dead, and there's a third joining them as well. Got to speed this up now, Taco and Cold. They need to find these eliminations. Fnatic playing the long game. We've got a grenade here for Taco, but surely he can't have a 10-second defuse. This is not realistic. Down he goes. That leaves coldzera alone. I don't think this is going to work out for SK. Might be about money now for coldzera, keeping these players contained on the site, but a pistol round is Fnatic's.
There it is. Necro gets himself a nice little headshot right in the end. And indeed, the round is secured, as is the money. Money in the bank. And I'm sure we'll get some more money generated by Fnatic here now, as the Map 10s are surely going to come out. And this is a brilliant start here for Fnatic. We all know how annoying it is to play that CT side without the utility early on. This was a very straightforward round from Fnatic, and I like that we didn't see anything too elaborate. That said, Fallen's on the scout. This round is not without its dangers here for Fnatic if they're indecisive. Yeah,
I think it might be restarted because Fnatic have not left T-spawn at the moment. So while we have a second, this map veto is really interesting, especially if it gets down to Mirage, because what a lot of people might not realize is that a few teams have actually been running Fnatic strats on Mirage, on the T side. When you see those fast speed splits, you've seen it from Virtus Pro, you've seen it from SK previously as well. Those are Fnatic strats. So I'm really curious to see if they have a counter, if we get down to that third map. But for now, Inferno, in the predictions, I did pick Fnatic as well. I wasn't particularly planning to pick against SK in any particular match, but Fnatic are my dark horse for this tournament. And I think that they are yet to show us their peak. Maybe this is the time to do it.
Absolutely, I agree with you. The Mirage factor, I think, with Crims's performance, he is one of the most amazing players on that map, just in the history of that map, and especially now that he's found his form again into this major, I think that could be an explosive finish. And I think we're set up for the long haul here, James. I think this is going to go all the way right to the end, and that is a very exciting prospect. But as far as SK goes on Inferno, I think there are a lot of questions to be asked. Again, much like they said on the desk, when Phelps was in the lineup, Inferno was never the go-to of SK.
Yeah, this is a really interesting scenario, especially with Fnatic winning the pistol round on the T side. So there's a comms server issue which is being resolved, and maybe the round is about to be reset. Indeed, it is. So we should be back in very shortly indeed. So Fnatic off to a great start. See if they get reset. SK always dangerous, even with Phelps as a stand-in. I mean, he's not quite a coach position, so they're still an extremely dangerous team, but obviously, we know they haven't practiced. They've been focusing on the long term with bolts, so it may be a bit put together at short notice, but they are still very intelligent players. So the unpauses here, and we are ready for round number 2.
So the question really here is how Fnatic will approach this round. Again, if they've done their research, maybe they have been able to spot some of the ways that, some of the tendencies of SK when they're in a force buy scenario like this on the CT side of Inferno. And it's very dangerous, honestly. There's loads of great applications for utility from the CT side, as well as the CZs, the Scout, in fact, from Fallen, which he's picked up. We see the smoke onto Phelps as well. So, again, lots of danger. Fnatic, they may want to just take it slow to begin with, make sure that they don't get surprised early on. But I think around the 1 minute mark, we'll start to see them really make some moves here. And they've already got top banana. They've got that information. Fallen's working onto some picks. That could have been very scary indeed. Fallen whiffs the shot, though. And that will be Fnatic still standing with 5 members, full health. And the map control situation for them is fantastic at the moment.
The T side for SK is going to be really interesting as well. I know on Overpass he said that some of the rounds they lost were his fault from the calling. So I think a lot of things might be being done on the fly for SK, so there's lots of opportunity here for Fnatic. But first, they need to finish off this round. We reached the 1 minute mark. There are no smokes down for the CT side. Taco will trade with Deagle shot, pick up the scout once again, but they haven't had much success tagging players. SK still with 2 players towards the B bomb site, but Fnatic are holding in the middle position for the time being. Not quite sure what is going on. Now, Crimsy's put a smoke on the balcony. Often a T side will use that to burst into the A site, but Taco has eyes on A. He knows nothing's going on, so SK will at least have 2 of their 3 players here towards B.
And one of the issues is, if there is a CT smoke, it's going to be hard for the players on B to really combine. If coldzera is pushed down, he won't be able to flash himself through. They don't really have the utility. Will he go through that smoke? Well, the one flash that was thrown is effective, and that's Fer with the first frag. Fnatic need to find their way in more successfully here. Fer is just making noise around the smoke. They're going for the desperation plant. There's no time. Does the bomb go down? It's not down just yet. It's up to Crims, but Taco comes in. Great effort from him. 3 kills in this round with the help of Fer as well, and that is a shocking wake-up for Fnatic.
Yeah, that was painful. That was painful for Fnatic. What's really interesting, actually, when you saw that slidey cam on Banana, I noticed that there was still a Map1 down on the car position, which might suggest to the T side that SK haven't tried to get aggressive towards Banana, and probably reinforces the thought that most of the plays are towards the A side, which was really curious. And here we are, Fnatic. I feel like they were architects of their own downfall in that round, but it's only round number 2, so there is more than enough time to right the ship. Fnatic will be on the full spy as well. Deagles, CZs. They have the pressure, though, to flash themselves into aggressive angles and try and engage. At this point in the round, though, still very early on, there's just 1 flashbang and 4 smoke grenades. We may see some kind of wall execute from Fnatic. Could be B, could be A. Perhaps the latter is more likely.
And just setting everything up at the moment. This is a good way to go about a round like this. Just want a set piece, see what the response is from SK. You can explode together with these grenades. It can be very, very potent if you find some good timings. And those entry frags. Cold, though, will be delivering a nice defense to kick things off. Does get traded out in the end, but it is a very prolonged affair, and the rotation can start to come in. Fnatic have been quite slow about this. It's only going to give more chances here to SK. Phelps, though, he can't quite find the play as the smoke disappears, and that's going to give a big advantage now to Fnatic, who have a 4 versus 3. Still more smokes. Taco's positioning, very good. Gap in the smoke to work with as they start to push him. Flashes in, slowing them down. Taco, unbelievable shot there. I don't know how he hit that one. And he gets more with that AK. Out comes the Deagle, down to 2 health. Crims the last man standing. Fer goes down around Taco. He can't get it done. It's up to Crims now.
15 seconds. He's got to pick up the bomb, and Fallen has the angle on it, so Crims says, oh, Crims. Ever dependable Crims. That is a massive round from him. He gets the 5K, the ace from the bald man. Full cue ball in that round.
We talk about Crims in this tournament and kicking it off with a crazy ace in a round where you're trying to force by yourself to reset a team that just want to reset run against you. That is phenomenal, and that's going to lift the team and their spirits immensely. We know Fnatic to be a confidence team. That is their identity, the no-respect style of play, and this only serves to reinforce that as we move forwards here. And SK, it's the battle of the 4 spies. Who will be the first to win a consecutive round? That is the question. And right now, Fnatic are poised to do so. Have they learned from their previous mistakes, though, James?
Double grenades up Banana. Fnatic being careful. Golden and Flusher slowly making their way up. Nice to start slow on a round such as this, especially on Inferno. You've got those classic pop flashes around this roof right here. And if you want to try and avoid those timings from the CTs, if they choose to do that early. At this point, Fallen has the 2 flashbangs, and he is towards the B bomb site, but Fer doesn't have a forward position, so could be used to buy time. We'll have to wait and see. Fnatic throw 1 smoke grenade just to ask questions. Again, if there's any more grenades, any plays SK have in mind towards B, just trying to bait them out. Plenty of smokes and the like left in the hole for Fnatic at this point.
Definitely is going to be pretty difficult to defend against this. Again, the utility edge, if you can find good timings, it works out really nicely. And there's only 2 counter flashes to be used for SK, and that's on Fallen. He is actually in position, so he can throw the flashes towards Paul for his teammates to actually jump through. And with the boost on Cold, this could actually be dangerous from SK. Fnatic must be decisive in their push, and Flusher starts it off well, as will JW, but Cold on the boost there, holding his position, gets 2 from there. That's pretty outrageous stuff, and more for Fawley perhaps, but he is shut down. Very good stuff there from Crim, saving his teammates. Could have been dangerous, but the danger has been averted for the time being. And Taco, well, he is far away. We can't expect too much from him in this position. No utility as well, just a Deagle and some Kevlar.
Yeah, he might choose to save that Kevlar. However, if only he knew how tagged these players were. Never mind, his face has been ripped off. Really interesting that coldzera, if you look at the duel between coldzera and Lekr0, when coldzera gets the first kill, Lekr0 expects him to jump off immediately, as most players do. So Lekr0 starts spraying the smoke, expecting him to rotate into construction. But coldzera stays up and then gets the kill as Lekr0 strafes out. So the mining games between the two players there, working out for a second for SK, making it expensive, but Fnatic get that consecutive round, and that puts SK on the USPs.
And I'm really excited to see how well Crims is already playing, and we've built him up so much already.
My name's Dan, I'm really excited.
I'm
What's
really
your
excited.
name?
Now, Fnatic don't have to worry about anything too much, just those 2 P250s, no utility or Kevlar, anything like that. So it's going to be really nice for them. A moment to breathe, perhaps. A moment of relief. Golden can start to edge his way in towards B to clear things out. There has been time, as we can see, for rotation. But again, the firepower is so lacking for SK. It's going to be very hard for them to get damage. That'd be great. A couple kills here for SK would, I think, be mission accomplished. And there's one from Fur. That's nice. Some information here for Fnatic as well. And they'll start to go back here for the bomb and make the call as a team. If they move as numbers anywhere on the map, they'll be fine.
Yeah. 4 versus 3. Perhaps it's time to move together into a site. They're going to choose A on this occasion. They have 1 Molotov on Lekr0, which is maybe going to have an important part to play if he gets it towards the pit position. Pits, I mean, you want to stop that crossfire. Now he knows somebody's there, but he's only facing the USP, so he doesn't really need to fear. He's just facing this direction and throwing it. Smart stuff from him. Phelps has picked up the Map1. He makes his way towards the library, so he's in that CQC area. Got those close quarters and might get some bonus money going into the next round. There isn't really the cash for an AWP. I mean, maybe Taco could buy one and have no Kevlar. So if Phelps can pick up a kill here, or even 2, that would be a great bonus. No Kevlar on Phelps though, so it's not going to be an easy task, and they won't engage. They know Phelps is unlikely to keep the hold of this Map1 for the next round, so they can leave him to it. Or maybe not. Lekr0 with other ideas.
I'm really excited to see how Banana is going to work out between these two teams. I mean, this is going to be the first round where I doubt SK will go too aggressive on Banana because they simply don't have the money to have all the incendiaries, which is what you need as a CT side to take Banana properly. Whereas, conversely, Fnatic obviously have all of the money for all of the utility, so they can really hammer Banana early, and there's not too much SK can do about it. Or they can just play it a bit slower, and again, I think SK will play it passively. So map control this round should go the way of Fnatic if they decide to play it slowly. I'm going to see the initial Molotov there to prevent any aggressive plays, and indeed, SK holding to the bomb site. They want to keep hold of their little utility and just play passively to begin with. And that's a scary prospect if you're just going to give map control away to a team like Fnatic. So it'll be interesting to see if SK mitigate this by playing some aggressive moves here. And indeed, there's one on Banana, in fact. And that's not going to go too well for SK.
The vintage pop flash play. Always been here on Inferno, on all versions. Doesn't work out though for SK. And again, this is I mean, yes, they lost a pistol. We forced back and forth. It's 1-4, but they don't have a good buy on their buy rounds here. And now Phelps is getting picked off as well towards the B bomb site. So that's 2 players that taken out towards B. Fnatic though, not charging up. Still, they've got 5 versus 3. And it seems they might go for a pinch with JW making his way through CT. 50 seconds on the clock. He's got time to figure out what's going on here. Currently flanking towards library, but he won't find anybody there either. You can see coldzera's position. They know, SK know what is vulnerable. They know they've got no vision of Arch, so they're not exposing themselves to it. Taco is somewhat exposed towards library. And now Fnatic make their way towards the B bomb site. I don't know if JW saw much. Now Fallen has been spotted. Now he's got to try and buy time. He's got a flashbang, not much else though. Taken down by JW, and that's an open B bomb site.
Yeah, beautiful play there from Fnatic around the map. SK not in the best of steads here. Some good damage coming from Taco with a fast frag, and that may convince them to maybe hang around and try to do some more damage, but Taco realizes that's probably the best bet, and indeed, they will fall back onto what they have. Obviously, at this point, they're starting to march towards quite a loss bonus. It will reach $2,900 for each player on SK Gaming, and as we can see, they have nothing in the bank at the moment, so with these two guns saved,
Look, man, it sucks.
Yeah, it would be nice, honestly, to just see them just wait for everything. So they'll have to go for a half buy around these rifles, and then the following round, all the utility AWPs come out. That's what we want to see here from SK. I think they need to treat their economy with respect, James.
For those of you on Go TV or Game Command, once Fallen has an AWP, he is going to be absolutely crucial to his team. So he's definitely one to watch. For the Fnatic side, I think Flusher, and I want to say Lecker actually, I still think because he's not such a household name, he doesn't get as much attention as he necessarily deserves. So those would be my 3 picks for Go TV on Inferno. Let's see how they do. 5-1. And SK are going to buy around what they have, so still no sniper rifle, Fallen instead on the UMP.
Again, we see the grenades up, Banana trying to take control of this, and here are the counter grenades from the CTs finally, that they can afford them. And this is why it's important. You can see that SK's setup to actually push the Ts out of Banana has been quite effective. But again, Fnatic, they don't want to give this position up. And SK go for the pop flash. This is a very good start for Fnatic. SK's play not working out. Now Fallen to hold on to this position. Can try to steal the gun with that smoke, but he doesn't want to get pushed at the same time. So that is the sort of tightrope he's walking at the moment. Very hard to play this position. Fallen does manage to safely pick up the M4 behind the cover of smoke and dart back. But this does now mean that SK are 2 to a bomb site. And not only that, they have almost no utility left, and there's a minute left on the clock. This really helps Fnatic massively.
Taco really trying to fight to keep control of top mid, but Fnatic may feel like they finally got it with the smoke down towards Arch. Will Taco continue to harass from behind the smoke? Just sitting in the corner spot for the time being. Is there a pop flash for JW? Perhaps there is once the smoke disappears, but which way will he look? It's going to be hard to flash Taco from his position. JW slowly creeping, there it is. Taco, does he see the players towards a short position? We've got Cold Zero on the high ground, using his teammate for bait. Golden moves in, gets taken down, the spray transfer from Cold Zero, and Taco's there to finish things off. Great teamwork by the 2 players. That was a 2 versus 4 at least, and they made it work.
Yeah, really, really big round there, especially from Taco hiding in the corner there into the cubby spot. You kind of don't expect to play that position without some kind of a bait setup from another player. And also, the fact that they pushed Banana at the same time to guarantee information, to guarantee fast rotation, and they expected Lecro, who was waiting, he was lurking, waiting for that Banana push, and they just annihilated him in the 2v1. So just clean stuff from SK. When their back is against the wall, they never show any doubt. And we see it there again. JW, though, on the AWP. This should be interesting. And this is an important round for Fnatic if they want to keep the momentum. This is a must-win now because both teams are really lacking on the money. Look at Fnatic, they just don't want to give up Banana, and I think this is a great call. SK much more defensive this time around. But how long will that last for?
It's been a struggle for SK so far, but I think it was really interesting Taco's refusal to give up top mid, especially when they've got a man down. They need to have something, they need to keep something, and I think that really caught Fnatic off guard. But it just shows you the presence of mind from SK. How are we going to win this round? Risks must be taken. Fnatic giving their opponent a lot of respect, but slowly creeping in. And I think Fnatic's T side does look exploitable for SK, but first they must stabilize. JW going for the quick shot, but can't catch Fallen just yet. Holding a grenade now, just waiting to delay, holding the smoke at the 40-second mark. So Fnatic could have some serious problems here unless they get something done fast. And there it is. Fur taken down. I think JW, was it Fallen trying to trade? And now there's nobody on the site. Gambles must be taken again. Fallen, somehow he's still got B. How is he doing this?
Yeah, straight for the smoke there, back into position, crossfire set up, Phelps is in, and now they may be concerned with him as well. Which way do they look? Fnatic in a terrible, terrible position. Phelps is in there though. Can JW save the day with the off the spray? It's phenomenal there from Fallen, as is the plays in general, leaving Crims to the clutch. A 1 versus 2 already with a frag in the bag, and now 2 players coming in from Banana. This is tough for Crims. How does he read this position? Taco and Cold will be the ones to make their way up. All they have is 3 flashbangs in each other to try to do this, to shut down the monster that is Crims, already with an ace clutch. Crims waiting patiently, and here they come around the corner, the spray! Can he get the second? Out comes the pistol, but it's Cold's round as he gets to defuse comfortably. 3 rounds now for SK to the 5 of Fnatic, but the damage they sustained was immense.
That is a knife-edge round for SK, though, the way it went down. 2 players charging through the smoke. The timing ended up perfect for SK in both those pushes. A frustrating round for Fnatic, but there's big potential for Fnatic in this round. Only 1 player surviving for SK. They have to spend all of their money, and Fnatic are back on the buy. Some good grenades, thanks to that bomb plant as well. Not everybody has the grenades, but I mean, SK, they have to win this round. coldzera is going to be on an AWP as well as Fallen, so SK have the toys now, but they must prevail in this round.
Back on Crims here as he takes apartments for Fnatic. Of course, he has assistance as well from Mr. Lecro, of course. Just map control plays, Fnatic feeling out the presence of SK, who are taking a more passive setup. Obviously, we can see that the double ops are out, and that does change how they want to play the round quite dramatically. Very cool angle here. Bait setup, Cold in the cubby. Has Fur around him to play off of with that FAMAS. And Fur can come in for assistance as soon as Cold shoots a shot. I've been liking some of the baits we've been seeing from both teams around the AWPs, but now it is Cold's turn. We've all seen what he's capable of as Fnatic look to burst top mid and take it away from SK, but they'll surely have something to say about that. Both teams very tentative here.
Yeah, but it's SK ultimately in control. There are 40 seconds left, and Fnatic don't really have any massively significant map controls. This is going to be a gamble. The late smokes from the T side will force the CTs away, and there are 2 on the arch position. Felt's only good for the 1 kill. 35 seconds left. The bomb has not been spotted by SK, but they're comfortable with 3 people in the A sites at the moment. Still control of the pit. Still people in the site with that crossfire. Still control of arch. 25 seconds, and Fnatic are now edging up. They are running out of time. They haven't killed enough people. They don't have enough map control, but that might just be it. coldzera still, though, holding down the arch position. He can rotate to help out Fur. Fur for the first kill. No one checking the box. 13 seconds for the bomb to go down. 2-on-2.
Oh, he makes the play straight for the smoke! There's 1! But Lecro trades. Now it's down to Fallen, the in-game leader, the AWPer. But Lecro, he's going to take another position here. He's going to keep the gamble game up here for Fallen. He's got to figure out where he's got to deduce. He can't check everything. Will he guess correctly? Trying to eliminate the possibilities. He turns the corner. The AWP comes out, but it's too slow. Lecro's in. Another round for Fnatic, and that's absolutely going to destroy the economy of SK. Wow.
He knew he was tagged. He knew he was tagged. He had the USP out, but there were so many places to check. The site, graveyard, pit, short, everywhere. He couldn't do it. So problems now for SK, and they are going for the force buy. And I'm not surprised, to be honest, because the way the Fnatic rounds have been going, I think maybe because of the anti-force buy round, I feel like that they might be showing their opponent too much respect for taking so long to take control of that top mid area. And you could argue if they even take control of it. Taco just charging through the apartments. Can't quite get the gun ready though for Lecro.
That's a pretty awesome play, actually. That changes the way Fnatic will take the round quite dramatically. When you've got 5 players, you can sort of sack 1 player for information, but as soon as you lose that player, everybody has to come together. You have to use those 4 players, just take a bomb site. And that's when you're going to be strongest, when you're playing the post plant against the pistols. And they have to move out of position. And it's going to be B here for Fnatic. And Fallen's in a good position. Can't get anything with a spray. Same for Fur as well. So the B bomb site's been taken. The bomb will be planted. And the chances are dashed for SK, at least in this round. Phelps and coldzera can try to maybe get some cheeky exits, but that's really all they can really hope for.
I'm a fan of both of these teams, but these rounds make me really nervous watching it from Fnatic's point of view. I'm just like, I just see disaster around every corner. But we're getting towards the end of the first half, and that might be a relief for the Swedes. 7-3 will soon be the score. There is a way back into this for SK, but it's going to be long and painful. coldzera gets shot in the face by Lecro. 13 kills. Definitely one of the ones to watch here for Fnatic on Inferno. Crim's up there as well, as per usual. It's been a good tournament for him so far. We'll see if it continues beyond this series. Phelps looking for anything. Scavenging mode for SK as they don't have the money to buy in the next round.
So this could end up being a very big half of Fnatic. They've been winning a lot of these very important swing rounds. We saw the battle of the 4 spies to open up the half, and that was something that went the way of Fnatic ultimately. And again, just Crims really stepped up in some of the moments when he was really desperately, sorely needed. And Letcro now, as you say, on the board, doing a great amount of damage. Just USPs, the stock pistols for SK Gaming. We can't expect too much from that, again, from their perspective. Just getting some damage in. I mean, the best case scenario really is if you can potentially steal an AK into the next round, but Flusher and Golden, they're operating here with UMPs, and so this allows Fnatic to use those players to be the entry fraggers, to get the information, and also to drop the nukes, the ICBMs, onto Fallen in this instance.
Love a good ICBM. These rounds looking better for Fnatic, but of course there's less for them to fight with. So tentative from Fnatic. They never know what SK might have in mind when the TC's going to start to pop out. Some good reads there by SK, and it's a little bit messy, but they are in control. Fnatic, just about. coldzera and Fer remain for around the construction position. He's winning a duel with a UMP with a USP. Some trivia: the UMP is a literal upgrade to the MP5 that people love from the older Counter-Strike. So when people say, "Oh, we want the MP5," this is the upgraded version, quite literally. Fer now trying to make some desperately needed bonus money. Looks like he's on a game show. It's a bonus round, but he has failed. Got all the questions wrong. 8-3 for Fnatic.
Yeah, this scoreline is actually getting a little bit out of hand. SK are surely sweating a bit here. I mean, looking at the entire series as a whole from map to map, SK, of course, as noted, will be incredibly confident on Overpass, but the Mirage is going to be quite an interesting question, especially with Fnatic playing as well as they are. Like Crow, JW, Crims, all the big names from that team really stepping up. Flush is always going to deliver as well. And so now SK have to find some magic in this round because they don't have an AWP. They're sorely lacking utility. And Fnatic are moving very quickly up mid. Oh, that's an incredible shot. What an opening there from JW. And he might not be done just yet. Spots the drop into pit. He can call that for his teammates as they start to pressure fast onto the wrap, onto the A sites.
Bomb around the arch position, rotating away, which might be important because Fallen is creeping. Flusher waiting for rotation. The bomb's being dropped by Taco in the pit. There goes Fallen pushing through the smoke. Taco still holding down this pit position, but Fer is still on Banana. I don't think they've seen the bomb, so they're not quite sure what's going on. He's slowly creeping, and that puts massive pressure on the shoulders of Taco. But Fnatic, they don't know where Fer is either, so everything slows down, and this might be advantage SK. But again, because they haven't seen the bomb, they don't know where all the information is. Fer's going to second mid. This is a really weird situation for both teams, and there's plenty of time on the clock. Fer continues to close the distance, maybe making his way into apartments. JW's in the apps. He's got 12 HP. You see Fer there. He's going to come knocking on them doors. And that might change everything for SK. They need this round so badly. Fer just around the corner now. JW, I think the scope's been heard. And down he goes. No bomb spotted though. And Flusher can't win that duel. Don't know how he lost that one, but there we go. SK back in the mix.
Yeah, they needed magic, and they've somehow found it. SK, it's not over just yet in this half. They can still make it very, very competitive, but that is fantastic from JW. That's the power of having a very strong AWP. And trying to make that play at such a fast pace is very, very difficult, and there's a lot of pressure on JW to be able to land that shot. If he misses it, then you can't overwhelm the CT setup and really get the round going, and you may have to go into just top mid, then re-establish map control. It could really change the round a lot, but he, of course, hit the shot, although they did end up losing the round. And SK in a more comfortable position, but no nades on Fallen, but he does have the AWP in this round. As we see, again, a fast pace from Fnatic, taking map control, and feeling that SK aren't really aggressive on Banana. They're actually sending just one-man Flusher to work Banana by himself. He's gotten information, and now all Fnatic are left to do is to take top middle, and once they do that, they can then make the call. What do they like more? A or will it be B?
That flash forced Flusher all the way to the 3 position. Ooh, Lecro taking some risks Fnatic looking to get aggressive now, but it's not working out for them. 3-man push from SK towards Banana, and Flusher gets taken out. More pop flashes. Attack, the best form of defense for SK at the moment, but they haven't seen the bomb. First been left alone towards Banana position, while the rotation slowly comes in from SK. There goes Crims, leaving JW alone. Come back for SK. Now it's Fnatic who are running low on the money, and it looks very unlikely that JW gets a plant in this round. So it may be Eco Town for the Swedes. The boys in black and yellow. 4 plays surviving for SK. Fallen still on the sniper rifle. Very important stuff. Oh! That is absolutely disgusting.
All right, Fallen's here. He's in town. That's great to see from Fallen, and what a confidence booster to win a round like that for SK. Got 2 in a row. They're starting to eat away at Fnatic. Their money's broken. They have to go for a half bite, and right now SK are making it very realistic to pick up 7 rounds in a half that looked horrible after the first 10 rounds or so for them.
How about that smoke, eh? I think a lot of teams are going to be stealing that one. Whatever ideas SK had in mind, they've been denied. But this is interesting because it kind of gives them a lot more grenades than they otherwise would have. But they might not know how best to use them since their expected map control has already been taken away. Top mid has been a struggle for Fnatic, and that struggle will continue even with that smoke grenade because they've only got pistols. No flashbangs. How do they make a play up short, for example, expecting a player in pit with only pistols?
It's very tough indeed. One flashbang could just go so far to breaking one of these positions. A flash through the smoke here onto Phelps with the multiple players, for example, could be pretty awesome, but again, just they lack any amount of utility at this point. Just as James said, that smoke was it. And they have to rely on just hitting their shots. They do have some excellent pistol players. Lekro's on that Deagle. Lekro has done disgusting things in the past with it. It would be something quite special indeed to somehow break this defense of SK. They are looking quite strong at the moment, just holding very safe passive setups. Taco spots the first one. He's been having a great game here towards the pit position, anchoring very well. Cold is down. Lekro, what did I tell you? Deagle, mastermind is Lekro, and he's back at it again with 3. And that could be the difference. That could be the round, but still, there's Fur, there's Fallen, and they're quick to the retake here.
I don't think they are. Fur's moving away. This is not a round you're supposed to win. What is the science behind Lekro and this bloody Deagle? Absolutely ridiculous stuff. He's stolen a round from SK. Monstrous performance from Lekro, delivering on the big stage. We've seen so many highlights from him when he was on Godsent, losing rounds, but getting nice shots, and now he's able to do it at the major with a Fnatic team that go from strength to strength. 9-5 coming your way soon.
It's one of the reasons why I really like Lekro onto the Fnatic lineup, into that sort of old identity, the no-respect identity, the team that could just make anything happen with very, very little. And as you say, on Godsent, it felt like there was always at least one round a match where he would do an incredible Deagle clutch in a moment such as this. Brilliant second shot, but the third one as well. Just patient, calm, precision. Lekro is an assassin,
Do you know what that was, Dan? Do you know what that was?
What was that?
Nice.
It was indeed.
Down to the last round. SK buying around what they saved. A FAMAS, a UMP, and there'll be an M4 for Fur. They've got good grenades, so they can continue that aggressive line that they've been taking of late. Of course, the further it goes on, the more Fnatic will expect it. But they won't be shy of aggression themselves. Flusher moving up, the lurker towards Banana. Strong half from Fnatic so far. Can they finish in double figures?
Definitely looking like it's a distinct possibility with some of these plays, but there is the AWP on Cold. Got some good utility here, SK. They're playing it fairly slow. They've mixed up the setup slightly. 2 men on Arch. It does offer fast rotations towards B and also helps to protect against wraps on the A bomb site. But the problem is they are weak on quad, if that was to be attacked. But Fnatic are liking Banana at the moment. They've yet to really move into top mid. And Fnatic, if they want to keep SK honest here, they do need to try to push them out of top mid. But they are looking like they just want to go for potentially an explosion here onto this B bomb site. That could be quite surprising. And there it is, with the very fast nades running straight in. Are SK ready for this? The UMP does some good damage, but now it's down to Fur. and the rotation from CT.
That smoke on the site is a problem, and Fer sees everything. Leaving Golden 1 versus 3. Nice shot from him. Looking for the trade fagger. Golden has to move fast before the rotation comes in from Taco. Making his way up Banana. Big damage from Golden, but at some point he's got to reload. 12 bullets left in his magazine. So he may move to new box just so he knows he has some cover to get that reload in. Behind he goes. He's just going to continue with these 12 bullets in the hole. So 12 seconds, he's got to plant the bomb, running out of time. Can't find the angle on Fer. It will be round number 6 for SK, so the game stays close. Could have been better, could have been worse. And that's Cold's mother. Shout out to Cold's mum. Make some noise for Cold's mum! Cold, the best eyebrows in Counter-Strike, undefeated.
And right now we're seeing SK grinding it out because there are so many situations there which just really do not play into their favor, lacking utility, lacking players, great picks, fast rounds, high pressure from Fnatic, a Fnatic that looks in form individually as well as a team, and they're not making many mistakes at the moment. Their fundamentals are looking pretty good, but at the same time, SK was still able to get 6 rounds out of this half, where again, their money was just not ideal. So that just tells you a lot. SK always there to grind out rounds, always there to deliver, always there with their experience in these high pressure scenarios. And this game is very far from over, but SK would really like a pistol round victory here. It's always nice to see the pistol round split between the two teams, but what do they have in the playbook against Fnatic?
Cold Zero and Fallen Grenade Men. No P250s for the SK side. Golden, smoke, and a defuse kit. So let's see how it works out. Crim starting on Speedway. Maybe some confusion. Oh no, he's just going to be playing behind the statue, it seems. JW having a quick look up top mid, not seeing much of anything. So Fnatic don't really have an early indication as to what SK might have in mind. Moving slowly up Banana are the T side. For keeping the players honest as he makes his way into the apartments. And Phelps may be... Taco is joining him as well. So SK now bunching up. Are we going to see a burst out of the apartments?
That would be very scary, James. The Glocks closing the distance so quickly, that's going to require Fnatic to hit their first shots. That can be very, very difficult. When teams explode out of the balcony, you really need somebody on that balcony. Otherwise, the T's start to spill into the pit position. It gets very scary very quickly. Smoking off Arch, preventing any pick opportunities as they move quickly through the quad position into the A site. They have to deal with JW. He's looking to try to make a play, but the flash blinds him, forces him into a corner. He can't support Lecro. JW needs something for Fnatic, only gets the 1. Will that be enough, though? There is 3 teammates left alive here for Fnatic as SK plant the bomb, though.
Rotation from Fnatic. They're a man down, and Crims is checking for any flanking players, but what is the play? Is he going to make his way up towards the short position? He might, but it's looking really bad for Fnatic in this pistol run. 2 plays left. You can see Crims there making his way up short, and now he's the last man standing. Last man to fall. SK win the pistol. We just got a real match.
And now we're going to see some really interesting Counter-Strike, I think. Fnatic are a team that, again, on the CT, one of the reasons why they're so fun to watch is because Swedish players, they love aggression. They love to play aggressively, regardless of what's going on. So we can always expect to see interesting rounds from them. And of course, in this force fight situation, they may actually even decide to play it passively. They do have a couple of smokes, so they could use those to really mess with SK Gaming. SK have actually picked up 4 Mag 10. This is awesome. I wonder if they've stolen this round from Vega Squadron because they had a really nice banana rush with 4 Mag 10s.
Well, Envy used to do this as well on Banana. Envy love themselves some Mag 10s. One issue is against the Force Buy that, especially with the UMP nerf, you don't really have the greatest of guns to deal with any longer range duels. Like if somebody is at the back of the B bomb site, those Mag 10s are not going to be reliable, which is why it might be nice to have a Galil to burst with. We'll see if the UMP does the job, should it be required. But Fnatic, for the time being, are actually closer than they otherwise might be. It seems we might have the wall of smokes in the front of the site, but what will they do with this? Again, these are ironically almost Fnatic strats from previous. Oh, okay, not a wall, just one. Just isolating the coffin position, perhaps. Looking for some information, but not committing. However, JW's coming in from the back.
Ooh, yeah, Fnatic are set up really well. If the defense can somehow hold, they only have a flashbang left on Necro. Crims gets himself 1 more. Another player off, and up to Crims! 2 from the CZ. Has to reload, that's enough from Crims, but Flusher, JW, Lekra still left alive in the 3 versus 2 as JW runs quickly up. Oh my god, Fur is in so much trouble. That is so Fur, the jumping SMG. And now he's the last man left against 2 on 8 health. This looks impossible for Fur. And a bullet to the back of the head. Good night, Fur, says Flusher, as Fnatic steal away what was otherwise a well put together round from SK.
Lekro with the bait at the end there. Fires one shot from the Deagle, then starts to rotate towards the site. Has all the attention of the last man standing. And then Flusher does the job. Just a bit of attention to detail there from Fnatic. The worst has happened for SK. This was supposed to be 9-9. You see Crims is well up for this one. 10-7 now, and it's SK's turn to force. Fur has an AK-47 and no helmet. And what we did in notes as well was there was a very late grenade, or 2, from Fnatic that did massive damage to at least 2 players in that push from SK. So Fnatic have got themselves some force buys as well.
Yeah, it's never really ends, does it? The pressure's always there. The aggression is always there. And I love it. This is some awesome Counter-Strike we're seeing here so far in Boston. And looks like SK want to get Arch position under control, and JW will have to fall back, have to give it up, but he has the information, he drops the grenades, he will stop any push into CT spawn. So Fnatic will give up some of the site here, but they're allowing that to happen. They just have to get the kills. And
what is that?
That's a pretty good start from Lekro as Crim starts to work his way forwards. Sure, they have the bomb down, but they are getting annihilated against the retake efforts of the Swedish players from Fnatic. Just Fur left in the 1v3.
SK getting drilled like it's home improvement. And Fur doesn't want to give them an AK-47. He knows he can't win this round. He'll have to hold on to what he has, and he can still be dangerous in the next one. Fnatic move to 11. If you are just joining us, this is the first map of a best of 3 between these 2 teams for the last semi-final spot in this tournament.
And I think this result, imagine if Fnatic were the victors here. This would mean so much for them. Just, it's been so long since these players were back into their full dominance and able to make deep runs at majors. And they've been humbled. They've been working tirelessly for at least a year and a half. Loads of Swedish shuffles, but finally they've refound their identity. One of the tasks that they had recently to overcome was transferring the online performance into the LAN performance, into the stage performance, and they've really made that work. And I don't think we've seen Fnatic be this comfortable in a very long time, and right now they are in a commanding position. Ooh, this is interesting from SK, James. They don't want to let up on the pressure.
Yeah, coldzera, I mean, first saved the AK from the previous round, but coldzera is picking up full armor and an MP7. I feel like SK, I don't know if that was... Like, has he pressed auto buy? I'm wondering. Okay, yeah, he has pressed auto buy, because that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I was going to say, yeah.
Everybody calm down. Nothing crazy has happened. I don't know, though, why pros even have auto buys bound. Why don't they just remove it from their config?
I know it toasts you to no end.
I don't have any auto buys, but I don't have any F keys either, so there we go. So there'll be a quick round restore to fix that. SK in the round following this, assuming they lose this one, will have a good buy, and then it's really game time for the SK side, because Fnatic will be pretty close to taking the first map. And that would be a great confidence boost for them as well. They probably don't even need it, but against SK, a very big name in Counter-Strike at the moment. Even with Phelps in, arguably one of the favorites for the tournament, I think.
Yeah, and that's one thing as well, you know, despite it being a standard, Phelps did play with lineup for a very long time, so it is and he's also like a very high level, very, very good professional. So it's very different to, let's say, the situation with Liquid and Zeus and so on. But back into the action. 11 to Fnatic on the CT side, 7 to SK as it currently stands. And SK indeed actually going for a full buy here. This is really interesting. Fnatic will not be expecting a full buy. They're going to play to the surprise a bit. As soon as Fnatic see all the grenades, they're going to figure out, hang on, SK have actually invested fully here. So SK investing on Banana, but so far still held on by Fnatic as they wait for the push. And SK really look like they're committed for this. Golden is going to have to be very careful. The UMP of Golden is pretty useless in that scenario. Flusher with a frag on the fall, able to fall back, able to re-smoke, able to control the flow of SK players here. And they're going to have to reconsider their approach to this round. They have no map control.
SK, worst case scenario, must plant the bomb. in this round. This is a massive gamble for Spy. And even if that smoke didn't go down, Fnatic already had a third person towards the B bomb site, so I think it may have been a slaughter unless the AK got popping. 2 AKs, UMP. You see Crims making his way to the high ground. I'm sure he will be expected. Still smokes and flashes for SK. They brought a lot of utility into this round. Now they're offering more suggestions. This time it is the full investment. Flusher running the distraction. Crims getting a kill, and there's one for Flusher as well. The numbers dwindling for SK. Phelps, he's on fire, he's failed a jump. It might spread. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. He'll survive for the time being. He still has a smoke grenade. He can re-smoke CT. It is a risk though. He doesn't know if anybody's close. Waits for Third to hold the angle. The construction one disappearing. You see Flusher just trying to distract the players as the third man rotates Lecro now in CT spawn as the bomb goes down.
It's looking very scary indeed right now. Finally it does indeed go down. We have Fur who's covering, but it's so fine right now. He has to watch his back. There is a moment, a window of opportunity for Fnatic, and Flusher might just find it. Turns the corner. The refrag does come in from Fur, but that's his position known. Tries to take the 1v1, but Lecro is going to take that. And Fnatic win the retake. And as you say, James, SK, they did a lot of damage. They needed the plant. They'll get it. But I do wonder what would have happened if Phelps had not missed the jump, because he had the bomb too. So that meant that his effort to plant came a lot later, and that was then construction was controlled by the CTs, and it gave a lot more space to them, where otherwise he may have been able to actually push into a different position. It could have changed everything.
Did I just see a self bump? I respect that. When you're proud of yourself, why not just fist bump yourself? So, I mean, I was going to say, like, I mean, look at the buy from SK. This is, I don't know, this is disastrous territory. I think if they'd ecoed the last round and bought here, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to be in this situation, but now they've got triple Galil, Taco and a Deagle, so, well, let's see what they can do. They've got grenades, they've got the mines for the game on their team, so if there's a team that can make this kind of thing work, SK will definitely be one of them. Clearing out the apartments, and again, going back to SK CT side, they really tried to have a stranglehold on top of mid, and for the most part, they were pretty good at retaining it for much longer than you might expect. Can Fnatic do the same?
This is really cool to see SK. Such a high-pressure playstyle. Fnatic are the team to deal with it, and so far they are, but that's a good start from Taco. For SK, as the arch side position is being worked on continually, and it will be given up by Fnatic. SK have arch, but what do they want to do with it? Golden refacing there. Fur anticipates the play from Library. Deals with that. Knows Golden's hanging out by CT. Can't get rid of him. And it's going to be SK perhaps forced onto A right now. And Fnatic should realize it. JW gets one. The Crims covers for the second. Now it's all on Fur with the kill. This is far from ideal, but it's definitely ideal for Mr. JW. He held on very well. 3 frags from Pit for him. And SK are in real trouble now, James. It's 13 rounds for Fnatic. They are a mere 3 away, and they're starting to build money finally.
That is a massive round from Fnatic, and a great performance from JW and Crims, because they hadn't seen the bomb for the longest time. So you can see on your radar, Golden's going back towards the B bomb site. He's miles away from them. Yeah, they don't know where SK are committing. SK are a team who, even with 3 players left, they will suicide players to one site and make a play towards the other one. So you never quite know what is up until you see that bomb. But still, Fnatic prevail. Now SK on the pistols once again. It's been a disastrous T-half for them so far, but maybe Phelps can do something. Taken down quickly by Golden, getting a Molotov, trying to retain control of things. I don't think he'll be able to rescue the fallen weapon, but they'll try to delay SK from picking it up as much as possible.
Yeah, it's looking quite interesting now for SK. With that frag, there is opportunity as Fnatic's defense is spread thin, 2 to a bomb site, and that's something that SK can perhaps predict. I think you would expect a team like Fnatic, or almost any CT side, to just play safe in this position. You have advantages on weapons, so it doesn't matter that they can outnumber you. If you take safe setups, then you're fine. But that's also predictable in a sense. SK can bank on the fact that Fnatic will try to play safe setups. They may actually bank on a 2-man setup in the pit position for Fnatic or something like that. We'll have to see. That is not the case. Obviously, they have a man spotting information, which is JW here. He's got a pixel angle on middle, and this is great for information. The scan could be dangerous. See, there it is. Falls back with the info. And one rotation can start to drift over. And that's Crims as he makes his way down Speedway. But here comes SK.
There is not a single grenade. No flashes, no nothing for Fnatic, but of course they are far better equipped. The crossfire always important. JW changing from the normal one, dancing around the pillar, and Lecro abuses the distraction. Crim's here as well, and JW will finish things off. This was the pick of Fnatic, Inferno, and they're looking pretty strong at the moment. 14-7. Maybe a must-win map for them. And they're looking good at the moment. Finally, I think this is the first good buy from SK in this half. And Fnatic are 2 rounds away from victory.
Yeah, I think the style of Counter-Strike that SK are playing, just like really high pressure, aggressive style of play, I think that will work against so very many teams, but Fnatic themselves thrive in those situations, and they are playing really good Counter-Strike at the moment. So they are definitely very hard to overcome, and SK are not in a great position, to say the least. Got Fur doing his usual thing, clearing out the apartments, keeping the pressure up high at the moment. He does have Taco to play off of in the apps as well as his teammates. Phelps, Fallen, and Cold take the banana area of the map. So default here from SK, and when we talk about defaults, usually it's about getting as much map control as possible before you finally make a decision as to where you want to attack. Fnatic not giving up top mid here. Re-smoking it, in fact. This will slow the round down a lot. SK have given up banana. They will have all hands on deck here in the effort to take top mid. And this could go to a battle against the clock here for SK if they're not careful, James.
SK receiving a taste of their own medicine, and the medicine's bitter and absolutely disgusting. And look at that, another re-smoke top mid. Oh no, it's not, it's a flash, ignore me. And there's a flash on the T side, boom, the burst top mid. JW doing what he can, but he's got to rotate back. 35 seconds left, and there's a third man making his way towards A for the Fnatic side. Lecro moving away from the fire, avoiding the flashbangs, but can't get the kill. JW now trying to deliver, but it's all SK on the A side. They've wiped everyone out and left Flusher alone with an AWP, and he may be hunted.
Great round from SK, and you have to think about, what went wrong for the setup of Fnatic there. It seemed like, Crims was just not ready for a pop flash. Well, their setup did not incorporate him to be defended. I think, obviously, once Arch was smoked off, he didn't have anybody to essentially help him out and look away from flashes to refrag. So just good basics here from SK, and that's something you can always rely on when it comes to the Brazilians, is good basics, good fundamentals.
Phelps did not have a fantastic CT side. Only 6 kills for him, so let's see if he can pick up the slack this time. In-game leader Golden, doesn't really matter. They got 14 rounds, so all good in the hood as far as Fnatic are concerned for the time being. Now, there's a fair amount of money on the Fnatic team. Golden's got $7,000. Crims is not shy off that, so there will be a buy here from Fnatic. AWP already in tow, and they're going to pick up a second one. Double sniper rifles for the defending side, Fnatic. Good amount of grenades as well. So Flusher and JW will be your snipers here on round number 23 of Inferno. 3-2 set up, somewhat standard. JW, I'm sure, will look towards this pit position, but I would say probably no further, but then it is JW after all. Would you have it any other way?
Absolutely, that aggression is so characteristic. SK, again, running a default, as we saw in the previous rounds. They have the apartments duo, Fur and Taco. Cold, Fallen, Phelps taking top banana. And right now Fnatic are playing much more defensively on top mid. They have JW spotting with the AWP, but that's the only info that they would have. But they haven't got much information yet, and at the 1 minute mark they may start to wonder, they may start to drift one player over towards B, because there is nothing happening around top mid at the moment. No pressure from SK, and they're going to go for a set piece here onto the B-bomb site. Try to isolate these players, these defenders, with the smoke grenades, with the flashbangs, and here they come again. Flusher needs a good start, but the smokes cut him off entirely.
Forced out of the site. They've got good control of construction, but they've got to be really careful about pop flashes. Some more bangs from Flusher. Golden, that last bullet, getting Taco in the dome. And Flusher will continue to spam. Now will actually maybe even cover the footsteps of his teammates as they rotate. Now they've got nobody in Banana. And oh my, Fur is flanking all the way around towards CT position. They're trying to delay them. Phelps has got one flashbang. Apart from that, there's no other delay tactics here, but Fur continues to crawl. Is anybody looking towards Speedway? Fur taking JW down. And now what do they do, Fnatic? The bomb's quite ticked. They might have to save in this situation. They're all around construction. CT's not safe, so where do they go? This is really awkward, but the round is with SK Gaming on their way to round number 10, but for now they'll settle for round number 9. Fnatic will make it expensive for them as they exit. Only Cold0 may be surviving.
Well, Fur, so smart this play on the flank. He knows that after he gets one frag, it's actually funny. It was a Devil Walk that used to say the threat is bigger than the action. And the threat of the flank there was so huge that, as you said, James, the retake effort was frozen because they know that if Fur is still there, if he does try to push, the round is lost no matter what they do, so they have to withdraw. And, well, Fur is gone, playing it super safe and repositioning. Really, really intelligent counter-strike from SK Gaming as they claw their way back, grinding out rounds as much as they possibly can here. But the double AWP from Fnatic is going to be a very interesting task now to deal with, as Flush has picked it up towards the Banana position. And Fnatic, a team where basically everyone can AWP.
Smoke top mid, sorry, top Banana, once again. And it seems this round will start slow. 2 players in or around the pit. I think actually Lekro's in the graveyard for Fnatic, so only JW is keeping an eye on the top of mid at the moment. I don't think he'll be keeping an eye on Boiler though. Yep, it's got a tight angle there. But Fnatic are prepared for this. Lekro's keeping an eye on the short position. So let's see how SK try to move forward. They're limited on grenades. SK have got 3 flashbangs to work with here, which is not a lot at this point in the round where they're still trying to establish initial control. Smokes towards the Arch and Library positions, and that in itself may be enough of a replacement for the flashbangs. JW flashed off the position, almost getting the frag there anyway, but not quite. Ooh, I thought that was on, but maybe he was still moving. Misses the grenade as well, forced back with 8 HP, and here come SK. The few flashbangs being deployed, but still no kills as they surround the A bomb site.
But in comes Flusher from the back. Lekro gets himself 2 headshots. That's massive. Flusher around the corner, whiffs his shot fallen. Now giving a chance to SK, as will Taco. Starting to bully their way in. Headshots everywhere here from SK as they are battling against the clock. Golden now can try to stop this from happening. 9 seconds to plant. Fur has to plant. Golden needs to win the 1v1, but he cannot. Taco, he will get it. SK pick up the rounds. That was a close one, a real close one.
That was absolutely mental. You see the frustration start to set in for Golden there. Going for the pre-fire full spray before seeing anybody. Pretty hard to control that once somebody appears, especially slightly behind a barrel. Look at the time on the clock here. 3 on 3, 17 seconds. The bomb on the floor only being collected when there's 16 seconds left. Really down to the wire for SK, but they made it work. This has looked like a really tough map of Inferno for SK so far, but they are only 4 rounds away, and Fnatic's money sucks. This is a round that SK should take, and take fairly easily, so you have to start worrying now if you're a Fnatic player.
Oh, absolutely, and especially I think, we saw there from JW, he was whiffing a couple AWP shots that you sort of just expect him to hit, and maybe that's, a bit of the pressure seeping in. It's very hard to say. I mean, he's one of the most seasoned veterans we have in these positions, so maybe he's just not having the best round in that situation, but hopefully we can see more from him with the AWP later on. But right now it's all SK. They are looking full of confidence now as well, especially after winning a round like that. Fnatic, they just don't have much to work with here, so the best they can hope for is just a couple of kills and keep the economy somewhat honest of SK, maybe steal away a weapon. Those are the best cases they can expect to work with. And SK have showed us a lot of very disciplined anti-eco rounds already on Inferno, some of which not working out when there's a force buy from Fnatic, but we can see that is not the case here, so they should be absolutely fine.
If you go back and listen to how the AK used to sound before they updated the sounds, I'm so glad that it's been updated while we listen to all this spam, because boy, was it painful.
It was, wasn't it?
Well, there we go. Lekro taken down. Having a look towards top mid, trying to find some info, figure out if Fnatic should be stacking the forces somewhere and getting punished for his sins. JW just keeping an eye on things, but I think he may die if he tries to get this grenade in. And indeed he will. Before he can even click on the mouse one, Fallen is there. Slowly taking these players out one by one. 5 versus 2 now with 35 seconds left, and that kill will not be too concerning. Flusher left in CT spawn for the time being. Bomb will be down. This is a pretty good round for SK.
Yeah, they are looking brilliant. Nice finish on the A site. Played it very slow, safe. Flusher, though, you could get a nice sneaky kill. Oh, he had a chance. His chances were dashed by Cold-Zero. Who else? All right, so the buy's back in for Fnatic. I love that they left so much money so that they could have everything they could possibly want, except maybe the AWP. But that is a concession made by JW in the interest of having a lot of utility, and that will provide Fnatic an ability to create a very slow round again if they really want to. If they read the rotations of SK well, SK have fallen on the AWP, so it would be surprising to see a particularly fast round, but he is the first man up Banana looking for any potential aggressions. And again, Fnatic, they're playing it pretty slow at the moment. They want SK to take the map control. They want SK to run those set pieces. Fnatic have done well defending some of them.
Ooh, Lecro, I think he's been spamming the apartments. Oh, I think he shot the door or something, because Fer wasn't facing him, but Fer has taken a lot of damage in the apartments early on. The grenades early were good for Fnatic as well, maiming some of these SK players, but the line is not fully out of the gates. Fnatic now with a late retake. Look at this. Some Fnatic strat towards Inferno Banana. Really nice stuff from them, and it's those kind of plays. We haven't quite seen those yet from Fnatic, and at this late stage of the game, these kind of plays might be enough to take them over the line.
Yeah, it's so important. You're in a situation, you're playing against one of the best teams in the world, and you don't want to just let them walk into their perfect scenario where they can set everybody up, they have all the time in the world to throw all the grenades, execute perfectly. That is just not what you want. So great to see these basics from Fnatic, getting the pressure in, they get the advantage. This helps to mitigate the lack of an AWP and also the issue that is the lack of utility now. There's 30 seconds left, but this could really hurt SK. This has to go perfectly as they start to move in. They don't have time for any mistakes.
Counter grenades from Fnatic. Again, Lecro moving into a reposition, but he can't avoid the flashbang. JW will trade 15 seconds. Again, we're going down to the wire. Fallen, he's waiting for JW. He's going for the plant, but he might be exposed. JW expecting it to be default, but it's not quite. He could have found it, but he wasn't to know. 4-on-3 retake, make it 2. Fallen taken down now. Crimson with possession of the short position, but Phelps is still alive. Phelps now the last man standing between Fnatic and Map1. Sprayed through the smoke. JW all over this. And it's 15 rounds for Fnatic.
And there it is. Fnatic just playing it very slow, very passive. A small information play, top Banana gets them the advantage, and then they just roll with that. Beautiful defense here. And this is another reason why they can be quite fearsome on this map, because they can play those passive setups very effectively. When there's players darting all over the place, grenades everywhere, flashbangs, smokes, trying to deposition you, it takes a very strong nerve and great composure to try to figure out the best repositions to make and to hold true to your shots. And that's what Fnatic proved in that previous round. Flusher on the AWP now. Can expect that perhaps towards the B bomb site. Indeed. Maybe they'll go aggressive with it. Oh, he goes for the shot. That's a miss, though. And SK Gaming are going to be very happy with that. This could have been really bad for them. But they have actually separated Flusher and Golden. If they keep the pressure up, they may be able to make a play, but Flusher's going to get out of there with the flashbang of Golden, and they will be safe, but you can't hide from Fer as Lecro experiences there towards the apartments, and now it's SK with the 5 versus 4 early into the round.
Again, the smoke from Fnatic, but SK not shy to look over the top of it. And I did want to mention that in the previous round, I think Fallen maybe was trying to make a read based on them not holding the position behind the smokers, so maybe how many players were over towards B, but there were still 5 players alive for Fnatic, so any read you make is not really going to get you so far unless you get the frags in. We reached a sub 1 minute mark, SK with a round advantage, sorry, a man advantage at the moment. And they've got smokes, they can smoke CT, try and bait some grenades, and then smoke it again if they want to. The full force is here for the Brazilian side. The smoke's being deployed. Only one player on this site, and it's Flusher with the AWP, but at this point, he's got to just hold on to map control.
Yeah, he got the frag he needed to get. He didn't stick his neck out for anything else. Ooh, is he actually going to try to take a shot through here? Obviously, he give away his reposition, but he's feeling it. And those are some sort of routine shots there into spots, which would be quite likely for SK. But very cool here to see that Fnatic are going to say, you know what, we're just going to give this to you. The retake's too hard, our economy is too stretched. And that's also awesome to see, because with 4 players, they only need 1 round. So right now, they're showing us that they have a really calm way of making a decision around the team and saying, all right, guys, let's just chill. We'll have a better chance in some of the following rounds. We gave up the first frag in apartments. Next time, we'll commit harder when we get those advantages, when we like our chances more. They're going to have plenty of chances. Well, I say plenty, but actually they won't have plenty, but they'll have more than one.
You're a liar, Dan.
I am a liar.
You're a liar and a thief. Nice. Well, there we go. 12 to 15. It's getting close. Are we headed to overtime in the first map of this series? Approaching 750,000 viewers now. Make sure your Twitch accounts are linked to your Steam accounts so you can get those juicy drops. Or maybe you'll get crap ones like P90s like I have recently. Anyway, both teams on a good buy. Is this the round for Fnatic, or will SK continue the comeback? This time Fnatic have 3 people starting towards B, and that has not been a common occurrence on their CT side here on Inferno. Initial grenades down and rotation. Fer trying to catch people off guard, but he's surrounded by the flames. His legs will get slightly barbecued, but he's got his apartment's control. Now, there is a threat of a burst through top mid from SK, which Fnatic have to be aware of. We've seen it before when there were no smokes top mid, and even if there is a smoke there, you've got somebody at the bottom of mid. Pop flash straight through that smoke can be devastating to a CT side. But once again, the Fnatic are comfortable with JW being top mid on his own, and the rest of them having further back, deeper positions towards the pit and site.
In the previous round where Fnatic played very passively like this, they were able to, of course they did get the early round advantage, but they were able to defend quite well when the set piece did actually hit a bomb site. We'll have to see how that works out now that SK will have an additional player. Of course, Flusher is not in position to defend the A bomb site just yet. He can be left alone towards B if they really want to do that. But what is the read that they have? Currently, they don't seem to have any kind of a read. Fnatic sorely lacking information. This is a very hard position to play from. Oh my god, that's heinous there! Straight through the smoke! Phelps claims JW's scalp, and now only 4 players left for Fnatic. But they're still not convinced it's going to be A. There's no rotation from B just yet. Only 2 players to defend this. It has to be phenomenal, and it is! 3 players dead as the push comes in, and now it's down to Fallen. Crim still holding onto the site, waiting for his teammate to wrap onto Crim. Oh, the flank's in there. Coldzera saves the day, but it's a 2v2 after plant, and they are stuck in the site.
Flusher piercing the boxes, but will he pierce the players? Fallen's waiting for it. There's the flash, trying to hide behind what little cover there is. Golden and Flusher slowly coming in. No more grenades for any of these players. Sniper on both sides, but who's going to push the angle first? Fnatic, do they run wide with the first player? Just creeping in is Golden, but he can't do it. That's left Flusher in a really awkward position. Got to be fast, got to be quick. Going down to the AK now, going wide. Coldzera, though, will take him out. Another round in the bag for SK.
That is a huge round to win, of course, for SK. Keeping themselves in the game. Fnatic, they'll only perhaps have 1 good buy left before an overtime situation. This is really scary right now. This round from Fnatic, they have very little money. They need to save pretty much everything, so we're going to see almost no resistance from the Swedes in this round. They have 1 more chance to close it out in regulation. 1 more chance.
Versus 4. That was a huge play from SK. Hasn't been easy for them. Boy, talk about pressure. And it's only Map1. Again, Fnatic, as Dan said, they can't invest in this round. But he's going to use every bullet of that AK. Every single one. Again, often in European Counter-Strike, you might see smoke grenades from a CT side in a round such as this to try and slow things down, to try and cause anarchy, but they can't really afford to do that, Fnatic. Their buy next round is not going to be spectacular, even with them buying almost nothing in this one. Minute on the clock for SK. Where will they choose to go? Bomb currently on Banana. They will deploy grenades once again, and these grenades have been, sometimes they've been fakes, sometimes they haven't, sometimes they've been double fakes. So Fnatic won't really know what to do with this, how to stack, etc. Will Crims be the first aggressor here? He's closer to CZ, so he can really do some damage, and there he is. Picks some perfect timing, and then he backs off. 30 seconds remain for SK.
Okay, this is actually getting a little bit scary. Crims again just toying with them. If his teammates only had some guns as well, maybe they could actually win this round, but it's hard to expect it, even though SK are against the clock. You can see they can brute force their way in, and there is no denying them in this scenario as they wreak havoc upon the bomb site. And there it is, 14 rounds for SK Gaming, as they are now 1 away from securing overtime. They had it all up against them. Fnatic so confident with everything to play for, with all of the money, all the guns, looking like they had nothing to lose in this situation, but now it's come to this. SK just grinding all those rounds back. It's been a hard-fought battle for them. One more for them. And Fnatic can't be feeling too good about this. They will certainly be feeling like they let a few chances slip already. No AWP for Fnatic in this round. They simply cannot afford that. And also a scenario where they have all of the utility. Sacrifices have to be made.
Fnatic have a reasonable buy, all things considered. Better than I thought it might be. But do they have enough? They are very limited on flashbangs. Crims has 2 flashes, Lekro has 2 flashes. That's it. 2 of your 5 players are carrying all your flashes. That is a huge problem. That is a significant problem for Fnatic. They will start with 3 people towards the B bomb site just to deploy some grenades, and then Crims will be rotating back towards A. And SK will be slow, they will be thorough. They've caught Fnatic even through smokes when Fnatic are playing typical positions. And that may change Fnatic's approach. DW not so aggressive now at the top mid as he normally was in that corner position. SK slowly clearing out Banana for the time being. And they've left nobody looking mid, nobody second mid, nobody in apartments. They are all here on the B bomb site. But will they commit to this? 2 players. Oh, they're just going to walk in with no grenade. Shock and awe. All 5 players here. The smokes are down, but it's too late.
The SK players are in. Golden does get a frag on the Inferno, and maybe there's a chance if Fnatic they are forced all the way back. The contact play, very, very strong and surprising. And boost onto JW. Will they anticipate this? They're looking for it. Too obvious, perhaps. Taco deflects JW, and now Fnatic are in a horrible position, but it's the last round. They have to make something work against all of the odds here. Some flashbangs to be tossed into the site, maybe for Flusher to play with. There's one. It's going to full blind Flusher, though, as SK look very close to the full defense. Fnatic running low on time. The final push is on the site, and it is denied here mostly, but it's 1 player left, but not for much longer. Fallen gets it done. SK get it done. 15-15. We're going to overtime in map 1 here.
Well then, Fnatic. This is supposed to be their map. It looks pretty good. How many rounds in a row have we seen from SK? You can't say you saw this coming. It did not look good for SK, but they have all the advantages. They have the momentum now, and perhaps they have survived the worst of this. Right then, all teams, all players will start with $10,000. And it will be 3 rounds per half. These are the overtime rules. They will remain on the same sides as they finished on. So SK continue on the T side.
Like that pop flash in case of any mid shenanigans. SK looking to play out a default once again. Fur and Taco. Dynamic duo here, but look at this. Fnatic feel like they can get an opening kill. They get the trade. It's not ideal for a CT side, especially so early in the round. And we can't forget that Crims would have been carrying a lot of utility still. And that is utility that will just never be used now in this situation. That's why early kills onto CTs is so dangerous for the CT side. But again, knowing that Fer and Taco are always going to try to take apartments, it is always an opportunity for Fnatic. They tried it previously. Previously, it went a lot worse. They just straight up lost Lecro for no trade. Now Fnatic's starting to sit 3 players towards A at the moment. This puts a lot of pressure on Golden, who is the sole man on the B side at the moment. But SK are actually going to start rotating back here towards middle.
And I wondered if Fnatic had a read on that, but Flush is making his way towards the B bomb site now, so it's a weird one because now both sites are essentially quite weak, whereas A with 3 players, I mean, they don't know where things are going, but Flusher, he may realize this as well, making his way back towards the A site, so Fnatic at some point have to gamble. It's the most pressured time to do it in overtime, where you can't really afford to lose these rounds on the CT side, but he's here. 3 CTs now. They've got nobody in the pit position, but they'll have to look for it, SK. Lecro's been taken out there so many times, so he's changed position and it's working out so far. Running distraction now, but he's only good for 1 frag. Flusher will not be detected just yet. Taco looking the wrong way. It's working. There's 9 seconds. They've got to plant the bomb now. And there's no cover for Cold Zero. Flusher is everywhere. And Fnatic take the first round.
And that's what I'm talking about. Just how do you get those peaks? How do you stay so calm and confident? 3 kills out of the 1 clip. Amazing stuff here from Flusher.
You have to credit, though, the change from Fnatic, because every time SK executed an A, Lecro was in the pit position. The Molotov came in. He rotated underneath the balcony, looking away, turned around, got flashed, shot in the face, time after time after time. They completely changed the setup for the SK execute. SK looking all the wrong places, and that's a massive adjustment from Fnatic.
SK looking to barrage Banana with these grenades, with the utility that they have. Fnatic able to hold on for the time being, though. Lots of grenades exchanged early rounds. Even more preventing forward positions from SK. That will prevent them from getting close against that wall, but they do not want to be denied. Still hanging out. Still looking for plays from Fnatic. Fnatic have abandoned the position, and they actually, threatened that they could still be there. That smoke is up, obscuring the vision of SK. They're playing it very safe. SK may still invest more utility now in trying to take these 4 positions. And Fnatic are in a spot where they're just saying to themselves, you know what, we're just going to wait for you guys to continue throwing grenades, just wasting your utility, and then we'll re-execute potentially into top Banana if we so desire later on, as we saw previously. SK may be looking for that. They will double back now. They do not have top middle, and this is something that Fnatic know.
40 seconds remain. Indeed, JW has not been, his position has not been compromised. That smoke's pretty crucial. He's in a good spot, so even if they try to burst through it with a flashbang, it's not quite going to work out. And it seems SK are going to try and offer a fake. And, I mean, you might buy it. SK are not afraid to play very, very late round executes. JW with a great flash there, and he's putting the rotation. Crims is on the way towards the A side, but the bomb is still camping outside B. It's a full rotation from Fnatic as they try to split. Have they realized what's going on? No! They've abandoned the B bomb site. There's nobody there. They've got no idea what's going on. It's like they're running for a bus stand.
Oh no, you hate to see it. You hate to see that. The B split. Fnatic just did not see it, they did not read it, they called it for A, and now they have to retake 4 versus 2. And this is a post-plant that can absolutely work out for SK. Phelps has a smoke, Taco has a Molotov, there's a flashbang as well, they have AKs, full health. This 2v4 could really work out for SK. It's going to be a tough one though. Fnatic need to be quick. They need to use each other here. The team play's got to be on point. They're running out of time. They've got to go in right now. Lecro opens it up. Taco, can he stop this? Can Taco stop this? There's not much time. Does he have it? It's going to be so close. Oh! SK! They make it work!
They just took too long. They took too long, Dan. Lecro was on Banana, and he had 1 flash. He could have potentially thrown his flash towards CT in front of the roof, so all the T's facing CT would potentially be blind and a gamble because they just didn't have time to wait for that smoke. Gambles have to be taken. Here we are, 16 to 16. That is an absolutely ridiculous situation, and that's high pressure for Fnatic. They can't fail in rounds like that. Even if they get sold on the fake, 4 versus 2, you can't lose that round.
That's the first time SK pulled out around that can sort of turn into a fake, or it can be a B split as well. Like, that's a a call that you can make on the fly based on how things are going. So it's really impressive to see them able to bring out new stuff like that. Fur gets himself a disgusting opening there towards quad, but kill there from JW. Full repositioning here from Fnatic. Perhaps gambling on an A play from SK, but SK, they understand there's loads of time on the clock, they can slow things down, but Fur trying to make the play is going to have a very bad time. Cold doing damage though, gets the trade onto JW. Things are starting to get weird now. There's still a minute left for SK to play this 3v3, but they want A very badly, it feels as though.
Lecro in the usual position. Phelps has a flashbang. You can see the nervousness there from coldzera's mum. It's very tense stuff. Lecro now trying to survive in the pit position, but they're coming for him. Taco gets taken down. The trade is there. Cold now, the last man standing in the last round of the first half. He's got to pick up the bomb. It's next to him. Flusher trying to run distraction, trying to suggest he's baiting for a teammate. Oh. That is a glorious burst, and it's Fnatic to take the lead.
Oh my God! If I was on a seat, James, I'd be on the edge of it. That's why I'm standing currently, so I don't fall off anything. This is looking really crazy at the moment. It's impossible to predict who's going to take this one. Just clutches from both teams, left and right, but it is indeed Fnatic with a 2-1 in the first half. Now switching sides back to that T side, and we did see a really good T side out of Fnatic, but we can't forget that things are so different in overtime because you've already played regulation, you've already shown a lot of the ways that you want to open up the pacing, and the pacing from Fnatic was very fast. They were liking the aggressive plays very much against SK initially, so do they switch that up now, or do they keep things the same? And also in regulation, SK never had money on the CT side, so this is completely different than what we saw previously.
Are you guys ready for this half? Double snipers for SK, all in on the first round. If they get wiped out in this round, they are up that creek. You know what creek it is. And there will be no paddle in sight. They'll be knee deep or maybe even neck deep. Early exchange around the banana position. Fallen getting aggressive. Flusher spots the rotation. Trying to force Fallen from the angle. And there is banana for Fnatic. Flusher will continue his lurking. Some boosts from SK around the B bomb site. SK still playing 3 towards A, and it's similar to what we saw from Fnatic, where coldzera's almost taken JW's position. He's playing aggressive, keeping an eye on things. Meanwhile, the other two will play around the pit. They'll play ready for a crossfire should one be required. T side AWP. It's not going to be easy for JW to get into this angle. He is crab walking some of the lesser known positions, but if there is an AWP there, well, the flashback, the Molotov will take him away. I was going to say surely JW was doomed, but Fnatic are prepared. That's a very deep grenade indeed. And they are hearing the numbers. Run wide will Golden, and he gets the kill on coldzera.
That is big. Cold didn't even hit his shot, so not even the trade. Problems here for SK. 40 seconds for Fnatic to make it work towards A. The shot missed, but the trade's there. Good spacing, good team play, good reactions here from the leader in Golden. Ooh, I thought he was going to push the smoke there, but he is not going to do anything as crazy as that. But there is still a defense here. The offered by Phelps, not had the best side so far. There's one from him. That's all he can offer up as the smoke is there for again, it's so hard to push through these positions for SK at the moment. Fnatic are playing very well around the utility. And Fallen is out of position here. Fur needs to slow things down. He wants to make this work. And, well, he's going to go down, spotted out by Crims. And Fnatic, they're on the cusp of it, James. One more round.
I was wondering if they were going to save with 2 players left. I think Fur had to make something happen fast there. Because, again, you buy 2 AWPs on the CT side in the first round of overtime. If you lose that and you lose all your utility, it's a really nasty situation. Fnatic, once again, making their way to map point. This is just the first map. Can they take it over the line this time?
One more round. And they do look rejuvenated. They've definitely got some confidence back after that very awesome comeback we saw in regulation from the SK Gaming side. And again, the spacing there on the push was really nice from the Fnatic players, always able to trade out on one another and take position quickly when it was opened up to them. So what's the plan here? We've got JW still on the AWP, which is good to see.
Ooh, Fnatic with these grenades again, frustrating SK once more. What is the SK response? Fallen deep behind the sandbags. Oh, the grenade towards the tree. Ever a dangerous position. There's the Molotov. Fallen will be forced away from his position, but he doesn't want to give it up. He does not want to be conditioned by the grenades of Fnatic. He will continue the aggression, and maybe that's what SK need, because again, if they lose this round, that's Inferno done, and we will move to overpass.
I feel like Inferno is like the really big swing map for these two teams. Whoever wins this is definitely a favorite going into the end of the best of three. Fallen going for the aggression, just as you say, James. He will not be denied. Does he get the catch? Yes, he does! See you later, Flusher. 5v4 now for SK. Just less than a minute now for Fnatic to make a move, and they've lost presence on Banana. Of course, they can still always double back, and SK have given up information there as well. SK going to hold to a 2-3 setup. He may start rotating one now, though, feeling the presence, the pressure, the aggression from Fnatic as they start to execute onto the A site, but the bomb is starting to wander back to B. Fnatic offering up the fake there. They have to be fast, and they need to get the kill onto Fallen straight away. He gets the spot. Fallen drops the smoke. They're going to have to push through this. Furs there, though, for the crossfire. This is so dangerous. They're going to walk into a horrible situation. The trap, the bait has been set, and the trap will be sprung. And Fnatic don't have much to offer against this. SK stay alive for one more round.
JW was cutting off rotation. He picked a player off Arch, but Fnatic just couldn't get it done on the B bomb site. They were in such a good position, but Fallen says no. Great aggression, getting such crucial information towards Banana. A lovely snap onto Golden as well. And there's one more chance for Fnatic. Otherwise, it's overtime number 2. Both teams very well equipped for this one. All defuse kits on the SK side. So they will negate some of that pressure should the bomb go down. SK will start with 2 towards B once again. No early smoke this time from JW.
Fallen has to be very careful in this position. If they throw the right grenades and peek with it correctly, he's in a lot of trouble, but he knows that you have to take big risks. Big games require big plays. He is ready to deliver for his team, ready to step up in their moment of need. Fnatic actually not really pressing the issue too much here towards Banana, and Fallen may get curious soon. Looking for information. Nice flash there from that Crota taker, Parmus. Very slow here so far. I'm so curious whether SK will try to take some information. The bomb is still by the pit position for Fnatic. So just working on the map control so far. They are not committed to either side just yet.
Now Flutter starting to engage. And Ferbers is holding a Molotov that entire time. As soon as Fallen fires a shot, the Molotov will be deployed to slow any push. Phelps shoulder picking, looking for information. It spots 2 players. I don't know if there's a flash for a teammate. Yes, there is. One deployed. Ooh, JW looking for some wall bangs. Can he find Taco? 30 seconds, and again, Fnatic, but there's a difference this time. It's a slow push towards A, but they have control of the Arch position. What difference will it make? They try to isolate with the smokes. Not quite getting there, though. Cold Zero and Taco delivering more kills. Are we going to overtime number 2? We might just be. Both players for Fnatic in the red. 15 seconds now, and Phelps has to hold on to the A site. He just needs to delay. Flusher surely can't go for a bomb plant. He's on his own now. Last man standing. Overtime number 2 is here.
Wow, I honestly thought that SK were in insane trouble. You saw it on the mini-map. 5 players, they set up the split. But Taco around the pit position, as well as Cold, doing so much damage. And you can see that JW, they set up the smoke so that he could take the pick into the corner of the site. But again, that presence from pit, even though it was smoked off, was really causing too many issues. And he couldn't take the shot, he couldn't take the peaks that he wanted. And it started to disintegrate from that position. We're walking on the razor's edge at the moment, James, and I have no idea which way this is going to go still. It's so impossible to tell. This is an endurance battle. From the first map, there's 2 more maps that could be after this.
Might come down to just one fatal error from one of these teams. SK continue on the CT side now. Will they go for the double sniper rifle? Fallen has one already. Communicating to his team. Maybe mixing things up to keep Fnatic on the back foot, keep them having to try to expect the unexpected. Fallen, he's been aggressive on Banana. Will that continue? We see the smoke grenade early from JW to delay things in that direction. Many questions to be answered as this round continues. Let go of some early spray, trying to take away any cheeky attempts. These grenades always good. Triple grenades. They're looking for Fallen. They want to take him out. Oh, that's a nasty shot on Golden. And you're not going to trade that one anytime soon. That's why they're throwing 3 grenades, and it's still not enough.
How does he get that shot? That's unbelievable. Wow.
And already, Fallen is on Arch. They've rotated the position entirely. They're keeping Fnatic surprised. Fallen is the threat. That's why he's a go-to pick. That's why he's so important. Down to 7 HP now, getting barbecued. 1 minute on the clock for Fnatic.
Looks like it's back to old Fateful, perhaps not. I thought they were going to go in for an execution, but they're only being placed back into middle now. After they throw all the nades towards B, it is causing a rotation, but the other players are really far away from top mid, and SK, they're surely going to work this out. Fnatic are trying to sell them the fake. JW goes down, Fallen doing damage still with the AWP, and they'll spot it out. And Fnatic, they haven't really gained the ground they needed to here, and they've given up 2 men for it. And now they just have to push into it. The time is against them. Their hand is forced. In Taco, we have no reason to doubt him. Fallen gets himself number 3. There's more to be had as well. Gets the tag, Crims onto 2, but down to 17 health. Doing more damage with the help of Flusher. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v2. This is possible somehow for Fnatic.
Phelps making his way towards the arch position, and Fer will head into the apartments. Again, they've both got kits. That's quite important. What can Flusher and Crims do? They've got to cut noise. Flusher creeping through the smoke. Crims only had 2 HP. What does Flusher do now? The patience from Phelps will surely win this round. Looking around. Oh, he's making his way through. He's still alive somehow. Phelps is going to find a kill here. But no, Flusher with the headshot. But the bomb, I don't think, is planted for him. Or is it? Fer looking for the bomb. He can't find it. Flusher, where is he going? He's running back to the site, trying to distract first on the angle. Oh, how has that happened? Why was he running away? Trying to look for cover. That is unbelievable.
I have no idea where he's going.
Is that the fatal mistake Is that the fatal mistake that gives this map to one of these teams?
You can imagine Phelps is definitely relieved after that one. I mean, that was a guaranteed kill that he gave up there against Flusher coming out the smoke. I thought Flusher was done for. He should never have gotten into a position to win the round, but luckily for Phelps SK, they clutch it out, and my God, what on earth is this game so far? An Inferno between these two teams. We get a faster play here. Crims wanted to go fast up top mid, but denied by the early incendiary. Now smoked off. SK holding on to map control for the time being. As Fnatic forcibly slow in their approach. They must bend to the will of SK at this point in time. That is just how it's going to be. Oh, okay, Flusher. He's going to win the 1v1 there. Fallen going for a peek on Banana. Might be regretting that one.
Flusher's mad. He's mad. Oh, look at this. Oh! Flusher through the smokes. Would you have it any other way? Charging through himself now.
No!
And there's
again!
the third one. Flusher is raging. Looking for the ace. How far will he continue? Coldzera taking a play down towards a short position. What do SK choose to do now? 4 versus 2 on the B bomb site. And it seems they will hold their positions. Their money is very low for SK. And there's one more round to play in this half. Flusher making up. I mean, he did well to get that first frag in the last round anyway. 36 kills for the man. Always performs at the majors.
I just wonder if the first kill on Fallen was through the smoke or not. That was ridiculous from Flusher. I mean, this is the thing with this game. There's so many playmakers on both sides that you have no idea what's going to happen in any situation. That's a nice shot to hit. So you'll be quite pleased with that. Cold trying to protect his gun. He's been spotted out and now fragged out as well. Crims in position. It's a 19-19.
For those of you unfamiliar with Flusher, he literally, his nickname comes from flushing a toilet. And look at this performance. Flushing SK down that toilet in this round. But it's not been enough. Nothing has been enough for either of these teams to take Inferno. Maybe the toilet's blocked. 19-19 in the last round now of OT2 half number 1.
Right, we'll have Lecro leading the charge here, up second mid. Smoked off again though. SK are creating a situation where right at the start of the round they can't get exploded upon by any quick contact plays from Fnatic. We see the incendiary in the previous round, then the re-smoke straight away. Just making sure that Fnatic just cannot surprise them, that they can get position and they have a 3-man setup towards the quad side of the map here. Will it work out? The MP9 actually does felt some favors, but the trading is absolutely strong. Lecro and Golden will claim the A-bomb site, and the inferior weaponry just simply was not enough, even though they had 3 men in position to defend against that push.
The presence of mind from Flusher. He knows he's got time to dispose of the weaponry. He knows they're short. Fur's got an M4. 1 versus 4. And it seems Fnatic are good to take the lead into the next half. Got nothing to lose at this point. Got to go for it. Doesn't have a defuse kit, so that makes it even worse for him. Trying to approach it as carefully as possible. And the issues are compounded by the smoke grenade. At this point, he might just have to run. But Lecro will put him out of his misery. 20-19. At this point, we're looking for the first team to get to 22 rounds. Otherwise, we will keep moving through the levels of Scientology to OT3.
What a game between these two titans. And I think if you've ever spoken to any professional player, I think most of them will say that you don't really like going to overtime because things just get weird. You've already thrown your playbook at your opponents, and then it becomes this sort of vacuum, or rather the game or the meta game is just within its own vacuum of this just one game that just keeps going on and on and on. And that's when you can see plays like what Flusher made. He's got so many reads as to how SK is playing Banana in this particular match that he can start to make crazy guesses, and we can see previously he was rewarded with his efforts. SK now moving on to the offense. Well, the pressuring Banana again, a very important, very crucial part of the map to control, so you can have information. They are looking really aggressive here, trying to throw a lot of bullets through that smoke. Got to be really careful when you do that though, because of the tracer fire. Oh, and Fallen's in position with the AWP. This could get very messy here for Fnatic, but they somehow get the frags. Fallen stays in position though to refrag, but still looks good for Fnatic.
JW should have some sound cues. He should hear that rotation, but Lecro still standing his ground just in case. A quick peek from SK towards the bottom, but surely there should be a rotation here from Fnatic. Maybe there was too much noise because it's going to be 2 per site for Fnatic. Not willing to take a further gamble, not willing to look for any more information towards mid. So here it is, the creep from SK. Crim's lucky to stay alive. The Molotov is there. Fur has to jump out of it. And will there be a trade? Yes, Golden sees the bomb. The rotation is here now. JW is on the way, as is Lecro. Will it come fast enough? Fallen has to commit to the bomb plot. Golden spraying, can't quite find the angle. Fallen, 1 versus 3. 4 HP, so close to the haircut, but not quite the blade, not touching the dome. There's the first one, 2 more to find. 4 HP for Fallen, he can't take any damage in this. They're eye-lining up for him. Oh, it's the team kill! It's down to the 1 versus 1. Lecro's facing Fallen, he misses the shot. He cannot afford to do this. Going down Banana, Lecro's looking for him. He's gone from 4 to 1 HP. And he's got his knife out, and that's an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster, and Fnatic will move to game point, sorry. Oh boy.
When he threw that incendiary, James, that he picked up, I was very afraid for Fnatic that something catastrophic would happen. That was a close one. Almost threw it away. Fallen ever dangerous. It was insane. He was tagged so low for the entire time. When he got the plant, I think a grenade soared over his head. He went down to 4 points of health at that point as well. 1 more round for Fnatic, and they'll take map 1. And whoever wins this map, James, they sure as hell deserve it.
Again, the fight rages on for Banana. Fallen spamming the inboxes of Fnatic. Grenade towards the tree, always dangerous. Fallen angry now. Can he activate though? Can he be bad Fallen? Can he be Wallen? Flush down to 9 HP. Soon everything will start to calm down. Those are a lot of bullets from the AWP. Fnatic in aggressive positions towards Inferno while all this spam is going on. He's really going for it.
Yeah, just don't move Phelps.
He might need a new mouse after this round.
Yes, it's crazy the amount of noise they're making, and they were actually running a default. And look at this, Fnatic actually stacking towards A. They think all that noise was just bravado, you know, it's just, well, they were trying to fake them out, but no, it's the double fake if that's the case, because they are just staying on a B, the double bluff, and Golden is alone. He is completely alone. He just has to try not to die in this position. Prevent SK from taking construction. That is Golden's job right now. Whoa, that is pretty insane. A quick kill as Phelps tries to move into position, and that is amazing for Fnatic, but they still have a hell of a task on their hands. They're only just now moving out of A.
Only now moving, but again, they've got 2 rounds to do this. You have to wonder how much they'll commit to this one, because the money is not very good. But let's see how it goes. They still have some time. The Molotov moving some T's out of the way, but there are so many people to find, and they're not doing it. It might be safe territory already. Maybe it's too late though. Golden on the site. Golden's going nuts. Fallen's out of position now. Someone's got to get on the bomb. Someone's got to cover. And there it is. Inferno goes to Fnatic.
Completely unbelievable start to the day. Fnatic and SK, neither of them ever let up on that match. Just the amount of clutch performances we've seen there from both teams. Absolutely unbelievable.